Okay. Yeah, we're back. Playing only the hits from lovely scenic Paji City, South Korea. 12:32 a.m. August 7th, year of our Lord 2025. And I'm this is my third time running. This is my new workflow. Once I get the project more or less leveled, I run it to stems, individual track stems, and once I get it leveled, EQ'd. Once I get the tracks, the mix pretty much as I want it. Export the stems, re-import into a new project, and in this case, I'm reconstructing the 2-bus because the original project was, the sample rate was 44.1. So exported in 48K and new project file at 48K. Going to import the stems into the project file. New project, that is, and rebuild the 2-bus. And run it through Air Windows Console LA. And to see if it continues to deliver. Right? So away we go. All right, so let me see. Import. There's the import button. And Cakewalk back. Still in Cakewalk. Cakewalk is still ticking along. And I'm too lazy and complacent to force myself to take on the Reaper learning curve. I don't want to do it. All right, audio export. There's my stems. I'm going to shift select all. Open. And here they come. This is an absurdly big project for a home recordist hack like myself. But I like the challenge of making this sort of thing work. So 24 tracks, and gonna have to rename them. I should have done all this before I started the stream, but oh well. All right, so let me get myself up out of the way. I'm looking down at my project here. All right, and what to do first? Well, might as well do that 2-bus rebuilding. So going back into my mix project. Okay, first I got the first thing I'm going to do is add Air Windows Console LA bus, and then ozone isotope ozone 11 for my mid side EQ. All right, so see, back into the stems project. And okay, master 2 bus. First thing is there Windows consolidated console LA bus. There we go. And then isotope ozone 11 equalizer. And I took some snapshots of the mid and the side settings that I had. Let me see, open it in Photos. Yeah. All right. Drag this down here. Drag this up here. All right. So mid starting about 150, crossing over at about 40. All right, let's see if I can get that more or less. Yeah, right about there. Let's see. -4. Yeah, it's about right there. That's my. Okay. There's mid. I need to put this in digital. All right. So there's mid and yeah, I got to put this into mid side mode. There we go. Now that's mid, and for side we've got right here. So the curve begins just shy of well, right around 700-800, and then down to just below 200. So try to get that as best I can. Oops, hang on. Let me start it down here. There we go. All right, so just over 1,000, and yeah. Right about like that. No. About like that. Right. No. Okay, that's more or less how I had it. Okay, next. Actually, I might be able to expedite this a little bit. Let me see here. If I can I do this? If I got here we go. So I get both. See if it'll do this. I might just be able to drag. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. All right. Whoops. Okay, so next is going to be real bus. So it's going to control click and drag. Is it going to work? Yeah. All right. And then it's going to be, hang on. Oh, this was, okay, Air Windows 2 Tape 8. That goes next. So control click drag. That goes after Ozone 11, then Real Bus, then Mastering 2. click and drag that over. Tone boosters barricade. No, did I? Oh yeah, okay. Did it go? Did it go? Hang on. Oh, now it's acting squirrely. What's going on here? Well, trying to do things that I probably shouldn't be trying to do. Just going to save this and back out of it. All right. Open. There we go. Probably just a little GUI glitch. There we go. All right, barricade, and then all right, let's try this again. All right, and next we got, that'll be Air 4. That'll be the overslew frequency filter. Click, drag. All right. And then I got meter, then I got my meters. Okay, I don't need to click and drag those. So just going to close this one out. No, don't save changes. Okay, ready to start. And all right, so next is going to go air windows meter, and next is going to go, I'll do span, and then loudness meter. All right. Probably going to be adding a couple other things, depending on how it goes. Next thing to do is go into console and add the console LA channel. Excuse me. Console LA channel plugins. Okay. Console LA channel. They have treble, mid, bass, pan, and fader. And just shift click or control click drag and just put one in every track, just like that. All right. Feels like almost like Minecraft right now. Okay, not that I'm a Minecraft player, but I've watched it. All right. So there's the foundation for this stage of the workflow. Still a bit of mixing involved here, but we're getting into the mastering stage now. And now, one thing that's going to happen is that console LA system is going to bring the gain down a little bit. which I anticipated. However, my real bus is going to bring it back up again. So we're going to use hyper, which is probably going to bring it up to the point where I have to re-level. But that remains to be seen. First thing to do is, well, just for the heck of it, turn off all the plugins and just see what it sounds like raw. And this is this begins before the beginning, actually, but drums have no reverb. Drums are totally dry, and so I'm going to be starting a reverb bus momentarily. But I just want to make sure that the levels were more or less right.
But I have had it up to here with all their fake ass laws. I'm nothing but a walking case of probable cause. Sometimes I see this world ain't nothing but a set of deadly jaws designed to chew upon perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. He's so heavy, so heavy. He's so heavy, so heavy.
All right, so yeah, extra big toms and extra little snare, because I'm probably gonna do something that I ordinarily don't do in the two bus, which is apply a little bit of bus compression. It's a subtle glue preset in the Tone Boosters Barricade. So I just think this mix needs it. Ordinarily these days I don't use it in the two bus. Just make sure that that's still where it should be. It says no preset, but yeah, it's on subtle glue. And just gonna run it through, see what it sounds like, just as is. See if it sort of matches my expectations first, and kind of do a level check. My guess is that it's going to be a little bit too loud, but here goes. Right, so at this rate, it's going to exceed minus 14 love centigrade very soon. And so, yeah, it is a little bit too loud. However, I might just, rather than re-level, I think it's pretty well leveled and mixed. And I think I'm justified in just putting a gain plug-in at the beginning of the 2-bus and just shaving a little bit of gain off. It's not going to hurt anything. So console LA, I still like it. But I'm still not too sure about this subtle glue setting. And I need to check. My meter reading here as well. So here we go. Actually, I don't plan to have it's going to be starting more like right. I probably should have taken this off already, but anyway, it's going to be starting more like right there. More like right there. All right. Okay, meter up. That's looking good.
But I have had it up to here with all their fake ass flaws. I'm nothing but a walking case of probable cause. Sometimes I see this world ain't nothing but a silly jaws designed to chew upon perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. So heavy, so heavy.
Okay, sonority is going up as I thought. Let me see if dark hits 0.
So heavy, so heavy. Once upon a time I lost a piece of my mind to a flash of summer light and almost rendered me blind. I surely would have lost my way but for some friends who were kind enough to lead me back along the labyrinths I left behind. Still when I'm groping for my keys, the only thing I seem to find is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. He's so heavy, so heavy.
Well, as far as the glue compression in the limiter in Barricade, I like what it does throughout much of the song. It gives it just a little bit of extra punch, but it just robs it of space and clarity and life during that outro. I don't like it at all in the outro. I much prefer the loud master setting in that outro. So that kind of introduces the question of, is there something else that I could do to get what I like, what the subtle glue preset was giving me? Can I think of a way to get that, what I like about it, without actually using it and having to give up that greater space? It breathes much better during the outro without that compression. This is the reason that I almost never like to have any compression, even very subtle compression in the 2-bus anymore. So, okay, well, here's one thing I can try. I can try TDR Nova. Now, first I got to check 2-tape. All right, these are my typical settings, and I'm not going to change them. Let me think, what else? Okay, so right before 2-tape 8, I'm going to insert Tokyo Dawn Labs Nova, TDR Nova. And it's going to put it on 4-band dynamic. And see if that, sometimes you don't even have to touch this thing. Just set it on 4-band dynamic and just let it do its thing. And sometimes it'll give you just a little bit extra punch without having to sacrifice that sense of space and the dynamics, because it's much more selective about where it's applying compression, right? And then of course you can fine tune it. So it's just kind of like give it the old A/B. Yeah, you can hear the difference. Right there. That's a good place to A/B it. Nice. Okay. Now Tom's maybe around 300. Gentle nudge around 300 and around 3,000.
The only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room. cause there's that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla.
Now, I don't want that snare to be super loud, you know. Just want it to be there. But I'm going for a fairly dark, you know, percussion section. But a little bit of enhancement, a little bit extra snap on the snares would not be a bad thing.
That gorilla. That gorilla. That gorilla in the corner of the room.
Okay, so I like what this is doing so far, and now I'm going to just roll on over to the outro section, which I'm just gonna have to guess. Yeah, well before that. Yeah, so I don't think Nova's taken away anything. It's adding a little bit more of what I want. It's not really costing me anything. So, yeah, gonna leave that there for now. And I think I might be. I just got a little bit gain adjustment to do, and then you know, this might be a short one. Need to mix it down and listen to it through everything in context with the other mixes and just see if it stacks up. Just like, am I forgetting something? Let's see, I've got, do I have mastering? Yes, I do. I have mastering too. Now, I might want to rethink this. But then again, maybe not, because this is pretty much where I usually have it. And this is if I really wanted to tweak what I see on the meter. For example, bring in the brightness down a bit, or especially bringing up. Yeah. Okay, now there's I would like to bring brightness down just a smidgen, and so here's another thing I'm going to do. So I still haven't renamed my track so I know what I'm looking at down here in console view. But I got the names right here, and bright things. Just a little trick here. Oh yeah. I know. I felt like something was slipping my mind. All right. Everything's all out of order now. Yeah. There's a synth part that comes in the third verse, and it's just not it's not cutting through the way that I want. I'm not gonna leveling it up is not the answer. But which one was it? I have to. Okay. What I need to do is be able to see these waveforms. Right. And okay. It's kind of, well, Shift F. That's going to bring everything into. All right. Here we go. So. Okay, vocals, bass, drum loop. All right, here's a synth. That comes in earlier though. That one's fine. That one's fine. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Outro. Which one is it, man? Okay. Ironhead. Okay, it's gotta be. Is it this one? Yeah, that's a son of a bitch. That's why it's not. That's why it's not poking through. Because this is a. This is a great FM synth called Flow Motion Stereo. It's fantastic. It has some really, really cool presets in it, and when you render it, when you mix it down, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, which is it's infuriating, man. It's really it's like, why? How could they be smart enough to make something so cool and so dumb that it's useless? Because this is not what it's supposed to sound like at all. Not that that's like unusable. It's just, it's not what it's supposed to be, which is way cooler. Like way cooler than that. I don't know, man. Even if I import the MIDI file, even if I import the MIDI track and I load the VST and I put it on the preset, and it'll sound great, it'll be there, but as soon as I mix this fucker down, it'll be back to this again. So there's like no point. And it seems to work on some presets and not on others. So that's just a really annoying thing. I don't know what to do about it. Maybe I could try it in Reaper and see if it see if it'll render properly in Reaper. But all right. Well, just for the time being, I'm just for the sake of. There's another thing I forgot to insert here. Before I do this little maneuver, Air Windows. Where is it? It's in. Is it in subtlety? Inflamer. Yeah. Now this is going to jack up the. It's going to jack up the gain a bit, but it's quite something. I knew I was forgetting something. 57 and 59. Okay. Unmute, unsolo that. Off. Air Windows-ized take on the Wave Shapers and Oxford Inflator. It's quite the little boost, right? When I put in TDR Nova, I was trying to think there's something I'm forgetting that's going to give me punch, and this is that thing. I might want to just like take Nova out of the equation now. Well, yeah, at this point it's going to be so much louder that it might be worth it just to do a little bit of releveling on the fly. But first, okay, right here, where was that flow motion? Bugger. Flow motion right here. Is that it? Full motion stereo. This one, I got two of them, and they're both going to be buggered. That one seems to be okay. That one rendered okay. This one doesn't. Anyway, I'm gonna dupe the Air Windows, and I'm gonna stick in something called bass drive. Still sounds pretty gnarly. I don't know. Okay, that's enough of that for now. It's the best I can do at the moment. Time for that reverb bus. Okay. And okay. All right, I'm trying to remember everything here. There's also the matter of right. Okay, so before I get to the reverb send, okay, Cakewalk being a bit of a cunt. Doesn't want to control F. All right. Back out and restart then. Here we go. All right. Shift F. There we go. Now, okay. I want to pick a track or two that are really trebly. And I'm thinking, let's take track 12, which is the acoustic. And I'm going to stick in another amp sim item here, which I don't use as an amp sim. I use it to bring down brightness and increase dark. It's called Wolfbot, an aggressive Kalman bandpass with evil in its heart. Let's check it out. Let's look at it through meter. So, with Wolfbot, this part is about 50% dark, 10% bright, and bypassing Wolfbot. More like 23% bright, 35%, 37% dark, thereabouts. So you see, it brings darkness and cuts down brightness. And I might want to choose another track, another part that goes more or less throughout the song, like this one, so that I can affect a net increase in dark and a net decrease in bright. And let's see. I really need to go through and rename these, but it's too tedious to do during a live stream, so I'm just going to wing it. Don't really want to do it on the vocals. I know. Hang on. This one, track 19. I think it's 19. All right, 19. What does that sound like? This one, this kind of sample and holdy kind of sounding thing, which is an effect from the M Audio black box, and those tend to be on the bright side, even though it doesn't sound that bright. I might have already sucked the bright out of it. See what it looks like in meter. That's already pretty damn dark. Yeah. Okay, so that's not a candidate. What else? What's 18? Okay. Let's see what this looks like. Dark.
Flaws.
Okay, that was the acoustic. Just tired of trying to read the track names and just gonna go through. All right. Nope, that's the bass part. I'll go back to the end here. What do we got? What do we got? Nope. There we go. These two things here. Let's see what it sounds like if I stick Wolfbot in there. That's just 22 and 23. Okay, Control, click 22 and 23. All right. Let's see what this looks like and how it sounds. Okay. Let me see. This one right here. Oh, it's not. Okay. I think that runs the gamut of the candidates. And so just take another. I'm going to take another look at meter for the whole mix and see if I got it kind of a net. Hang on. Okay. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. Didn't really pull it down. I'm going to try one more thing. And that is, let me see. There's Monster Drums, SI Drum Kit 20, 14, and 20. And oh, come on, where is it? I forget what this sounds like. Oh, yeah. Okay. Where the hell is it? Where's the loop? There it is. Okay. 4 and 4 and 14 and 20. 4, 14, and 20. $14. And 4. If this doesn't make for a net increase in dark, then nothing will. Sound started. Okay. Meter. Well, that did it. It's drums, man.
But a walking case of probable cause. Sometimes I see this world ain't nothing but a set of deadly jaws designed to chew up my perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room.
All right, now it's cool, but maybe a little bit too much overboard. I'm going to try taking it off of SI Drum Kit number 20. Pretty good balance.
Sometimes I see this world.
So the sonority of the toms is coming from the SI Drum Kit.
My perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room.
Okay, well here goes God just going down
in the corner of the room.
got more of a Tom Waits vibe.
Rendered me blind. I surely would have lost my way, but for some friends who were kind enough to lead me back.
All right, so the other candidate would be to take it off of track 14. Take Wolfbot off of the monster drum part. Now let's see how that fares. Bright energy and shunting it over into sonority, which is fine. I just don't want sonority getting up into like the 90s. Dark is gonna take a hit. Dark is gonna take a hit during the chorus. All right, well, I'm going to try it in one more place. I got to leave Wolfbot off of one of these drum parts because the snare just gets too muffled. I don't know. All right. There's the where is it? It's the track 1. Track 1. Track 1 could use a Wolfbot. That's Wolfbot, isn't it? Yep. I think, I could be mistaken, but I think track 1 is, even though it's a very low sound, let's see. All right. That brings it down to 4%. No, that's not going to make a big enough difference. And if anything, I really want that to poke through in a certain way. So that's not a good place for it. So I think that's an Well, okay. Let's look at our other gorilla vocals. Okay, that's fine. All right, that's enough Wolfbot for now. Overall, I think it's an improvement. And so, what are we down to now? We're down to, well, there's one other thing. One other thing to try, just for the sake of curiosity, because I did this on the last mix, is now, yeah, tape. Now that's odd order harmonics. It's worth a shot. That's interesting, man. This might be a technique that I use a little bit more often. Let's try hysteresia. This is interesting because it doesn't take away the space. It's a different kind of space, and just gotta try this real quick. Just bring wow and flutter all the way down. Man, I like that. Okay, through hyper and then through subtle tape. I really like it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for now and see how it comes out. See how it washes out in the mix down. Okay, that just leaves, I'm about ready to call this a night. Call it a night. Last thing to do now is address levels, and I'm not really in a mood to re-level at the track level. So for now, it's gonna be purest gain. This is a really nice gain staging plugin. Doesn't hurt anything. Let's try minus. Whoops. Let's try minus 1.7 and see what that gives us in. I also want to. I'm going to run meter, and because I want to see what real bus subtle tape, how that's going to affect, how it's going to color it, and I'll check my loudness off screen here. Okay, and this red band here is probably being caused by, it's being caused by real bus subtle tape, which I can get rid of, but it's not important right now. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, that's not enough of a gain cut. So I'm going to have to re-level this later. I'm going to take this down to minus 2.7. Too much. More than I like to do with this, but it'll have to do for the time being. And let's try this. Hang on. Barricade. All right, I can bring... No. All right, I'm going to bring the gain and barricade down to, say, 0.7. And try it again. This looks promising.
But I have had it up to here with all their fake ass flaws. I'm nothing but a walking case of probable cause. Sometimes I see this world ain't nothing but a set of deadly jaws designed to chew up my perfection and spit it into flaws. When I am plotting my escape, the only thing that gives me pause is that gorilla in the corner of the room. That gorilla in the corner of the room.
Okay, good.
He's so heavy, so heavy. He's so heavy, so
Okay, it looks like that's going to do it for now. I'm going to bring this down to -3, and that should do it. Time to mix down and mix down and hit the hay. See how it sounds in the morning. Last night was really something else, man. I had new people come in here. A gentleman from the Middle East, but Canadian, and a lady of Taiwanese origin, and they were very kind. Chloe Lynn and I forget the gentleman's name. If you guys happen to come back and listen to this, I did sub to your channels, and it was very kind. You were very kind last night, and I had Josh here. It was wonderful. That was very rare. That was a real treat. I started late tonight, so I couldn't expect anybody else to poke their head in here. But anyway, there's the workflow documented for anyone who ever may find it of interest or use. Airwindows.com for these tools. Airwindows Consolidated. It's free, open source, and available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. It's worth checking out. From lovely, scenic Paji City, South Korea, God bless and keep you. I'm Lean Bear, and see you next time. Over and out.